Hey guys, this is Chris, and welcome to my headquarters Purist challenge. I really enjoyed this single player campaign mission and wanted to go ahead and make a challenge out of it. We'll go ahead and go into the settings and show them to you. Of course, we're playing it on Perfectionist. Then we're going to go into the video and UI. The interaction markers are off. The scoring feedback is on. The auto hide HUD is on. And of course, as usual, the radar is off. So go ahead and make sure that's done. Regarding the gear, we're going to have a no stealth suit. We're not going to be equipping any kind of gadgets. We're not going to be using the goggles. The op suit, I went ahead and equipped the Raven suit because it has absolutely no stealth bars. Because this is a Uplay exclusive, you can mix and match another suit to your liking. Just make sure it doesn't have any bars of stealth if you're going to play it. So there you go, that's our loadout, and let's go ahead and start playing it. I think what I love about this mission so much is that it really allows you to think outside the box, and trust me, I really do love the stealth levels and enjoy having it, you being in stealth mode all the time. But I know that with Conviction, it really did help my stealth skill because it wasn't the same formula. It really changed up with the enemies being aggressive and all that. It really changed the way I had to think about stealth. And I remember just like, because I was a hardcore Legacy fan just like everyone else. And so I was pretty upset too at first when Conviction went into more of an aggressive mode. As far as the story, Deniable Ops was awesome because you could go through all that. But I really learned how to work with line of sight, how to even ghost through a lot of section and stealth through a lot of sections within the story mode. And really learned line of sight from Conviction a lot. What I did with this level, why I like it so much, is it presents so many challenges for you. Of course, you've got your mixture of darkness and all that, but as you know, coming up with these with this prison cell room, you're going to have everybody shooting at you. The first time that I actually did a Ghost Purist run of this was when I was doing my campaign Ghost walkthroughs. This was back when the game first came out. I think I posted this mission on August 31st, 2013 or something like that. And I went ahead and just ghosted right through all the guards, and it gave me evade points. It gave me Panther points, and I completely understand and can really empathize with people that are Ghost players. And you go through all that hard work, you're a Ghost Purist, you want to keep it a Ghost run, but yet you get evade points. So I completely understand that, understand exactly where you're coming from. However, I think the big thing is kind of what's your intention. Do you want to go for a higher score, or do you want to go with a Ghost run? It'd be nice to get the Ghost points, but I guess for this, that's the way it was. So what I really decided to do was just kind of do both, because that's just the way it is, the way the game's designed. I wanted to come back here and do a challenge of this anyway, and I thought, you know what, let's have our cake and eat it too. What we can do is we'll make a good challenge out of it. We'll go ahead and ghost the room. In fact, we'll make it a hard challenge in the fact that last time I ghosted through the top floors, I opened the doors and went downstairs. It's pretty easy. This time you have to go through the floor entrance, which makes it a lot tougher. Now there is a checkpoint you need to reset here coming up in order for them to get out of assault state. But I'll go ahead and stop the narration, and I'll talk about the bonus objective that I'm going to be doing right here. Basically get through with no white indicator and no footsteps heard by the guards. Okay, I know doing that right there looked pretty simple, but if you want to give it a try, trust me, it definitely can be done. I've done it several times, but it's pretty hard, especially when you take into account these other two objectives, bonus objectives that are going to be included. And the bonus objective that I included, the first bonus objective was to ghost through the front with no white indicators. You had, I think there were 5 people on the ground there, and you couldn't get a single white indicator, which means you had to have you had to master line of sight on that. Make sure no lights or eyes were on you, and you're in a lit up area there for a second. As well as when you drop down there, they can hear you unless they're the appropriate distance. So that was another real difficult thing. If you're too close to them, they can feel your presence. So it's pretty nuts. So enjoy doing that if you try that challenge. The second thing, the second bonus objective I have is to get, and I didn't even realize this was possible because, again, last time I did this, I just ghosted right through the level, got the Panther evade points, but when I was knocking these guys out, I found out that they were picking each other up, and I thought that was the most interesting thing. And so the second bonus objective is to have 2 guards being picked up, and you can see right here the first guard, his buddy's picking them up. And what I'm doing, I could go ahead and get the 2-time stealth multiplier. The thing is what I noticed is if I just went ahead and restarted the checkpoint and immediately started knocking them out, it was pretty consistent. I could have these guys pick each other up. But what I found is if I ghosted to the back and then started knocking them out, they were much more inconsistent on how many people went upstairs, or I'd have 2-3 people come upstairs, or even 4 people come upstairs, and then they would leave the people that were KO'd alone. So here we go. Here's the second guard that I knocked out. He's being revived. And here is the third objective, bonus objective that I have, which is to get a 3-time stealth multiplier. And you have to drop down, or you cannot do a KO from above on this. And of course, at any time there can be no red indicator when you're knocking people out and all that. You can't have people on an active alert status where they're shooting at you or anything like that. So you can see the guards are still around there searching. So there you go. Those are the 3 bonus objectives. Are going through the ground floor without being seen or heard. Second one is no less than 2 and no more than 2, and that's a fine line because right there you can see I'm too far away to hand KO them, and I can't use gadgets. I don't have any gadgets equipped. Can't use my stun gun or anything like that. So if that guard picks up the one that's fallen, I have to start this thing completely over. And so you can see how all of these bonus objectives really compound on each other. They'll turn their flashlights really quickly on you. You definitely will get the white indicators for sure, especially when you're knocking out people together. So I was able to drop down and get these 2 guys together as well. So there you go. There was 7 guards in this room. Was able to get to the back and all the way upstairs without being seen or heard. I was able to do 9 KOs because 2 of them were revived and get all 3 bonus objectives done. The few walkthroughs I've seen on YouTube after I have done after I did my Ghost Purist run, I haven't seen anybody do hand takedowns without any kind of gadgets or anything like that. And so I thought this would be a really interesting take on it, is to keep that stealth purist form and make that a challenge. And to me, it was a lot of fun to do. And I know Steven, SC Ghost Ninja, is going to be doing this, and he's really, really looking forward to it. What I really like to do, he loves to do the challenges. And so what we do is I go ahead and email him the rules. I go ahead and record it before I give him the rules, because I don't want to give him rules to a challenge I haven't done. In other words, I don't want to make up rules and then not be able to complete it myself. Because I would just be wasted time on his part. So I wanted to make sure that the challenge can be complete, and that's the reasoning behind that. So I go ahead and make sure the challenge is done. And just like the Nerves of Steel Extreme Challenge that we did, we go ahead and release it on the same day, and we're really hoping to do it with this challenge, but Steven had a few things come up and was unable to do it. And so he told me to go ahead and release it, and he may be a few weeks to get this challenge done, but he is really looking forward to it. A few other things is the only time I really aim, I don't aim when I'm moving. And the big reason behind this is that the guards cannot hear you. If you're moving, you can even be standing up. If you're moving while you're aiming, the guards can't hear you. Also, if you hug against cover or hug along a wall, they can't hear you with that. They can't hear you when you slide from cover to cover. So all these things, I went ahead and made those kind of rules as well, to not slide, not walk more than a couple links. I mean, you can kind of, if you're hugged up against cover, you can kind of go a few steps to kind of readjust your position, or if there's you'll see here in the server room where I'll kind of change sides on the server and stuff, maybe take a couple steps, but that's more just to reposition yourself, not to walk down a full wall. So this, I think, is, and I don't think anybody would deny, regarding being a Ghost Purist that doesn't use the radar, does not do any kind of marking, doesn't use any gadgets, doesn't use a whistle, doesn't do anything. It's a pure Ghost run. This room, this part right here, is by far the hardest part of the game. I've done all the missions as a Ghost Purist, and this takes the cake. To me, was it frustrating? Sure. But I think that's what makes it so great. To me, I like challenges. I like doing things that are hard. It just makes it so rewarding. We're coming up on the server room, and what I'm going to do the same thing that I did when we came up on the prison cell room. That is, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the narration, and all you're going to have is the in-game sound. So again, you'll be able to experience everything I did, all the sounds and everything like that. Again, this is a no stealth suit, and just wanted to you guys to make sure you knew that I wasn't using a whistle or any kind of distraction.
سرعتش خیلی خوب نیست. نگران که قبل از اینکه کار تموم بشه ما محله بشه. ساختمون احتمالاً یکی از تارگت اصلی آمریکاست. حرف نزن، تندتر کار کن. ممکنه الان یه بمب افکن مخفی بالا سرمون باشه. ممکنه ساکت بشی و کارتو ادامه بدی. درسته. اونا میخوان این کارو بکنن. فقط زمانش معلوم نیست. میشه دیگه قدم نزنیم؟ داری عصبی میکنی. وضعیت باهرم عصبی باشی. باید وحشت کنی. چرا فکر میکنی ما هدف هستیم؟ من دائما دارم اخبار آمریکا رو به طور آنلاین دنبال میکنم. الان همش در مورد جنگه. اگه این ساختمون رو بگیرن ما زمینگار میشیم. میبینی چرا نگرانم؟ بله، ولی بازم ازت میخوام که دیگه قدم نزنیم. لعنتی.
Drive is live. Perfect. Sit tight till the transfer's done.
Drive is live.
Perfect. Sit tight till the transfer's done.
تو قفل‌های باقی مونده رو باز کن. مجوزتون کو؟ مجوزه من اینه که اگه این کارو نکنی با تیر میزنمت. کافیه. همین فرصت بهم بده. Search for him. Get moving.
I've got the drive.
That's another reason why I do these challenges, is because there are veterans of the series who really believe these modern installments don't provide any kind of challenge. They're way too easy, whether they talk about mark and execute or whatever it is. It doesn't remind them of the old school legacy feeling. And so what my hope is to show that, number one, you always have the option to do what you want. If you want to ghost something, you can ghost it, and you can actually get really good at it by using other things other than shadow. You can get really good at line of sight. You can have aggressive AI coming at you and still avoid them, and it just really helps you become a better stealth player. I really hope this does help people. There is a guard right there. He's facing away. Always have to look everywhere because they always have different timings. At least 2, if not 3 timings. So you can see right there I see 3 guards right off the bat. One guard went in the room. Okay, yeah, so I've got one guard that came downstairs, so I still have 3 guards down there. And I know before I've had 4 guards go around there, and it's so tough. This part is so tough because another big rule that I have as a purist is to leave the environment completely alone. And it's so easy to want to turn off the lights and make the room dark. You can just flip a switch and make it so easy. But this is what makes it so great, is can you do it? Can you get past this? And to me, this is what I love, is to just see if I can do this. Definitely a big challenge. I think what's so nerve-wracking about this too, what happens so many times, is I had instances like this where right there you would think, well, why didn't you just go down the steps? Well, I did in previous runs, and then all of a sudden you'd have someone in the actual server room, and they'll just do their flashlight all of a sudden right on me. And so I went on that ledge and kind of looked around as much as I could. So there you go. I went ahead and got through there and got the undisturbed, 9 hostiles undisturbed, and I loved doing that. That was great. This very easy, just go right up there and go through that vent. If you want to get no white arc, just go ahead and, as my last video has, just wait for their flashlights to, they'll kind of look away and you can get in there, but no big deal. And again, as I had said before, this really reminds me, these vents remind me of when I played Deus Ex. That's another game that I really thoroughly enjoyed, Deus Ex Human Revolution. I really love that game. It's really high on my list. And on my previous walkthrough, I went right in the middle there, right in all that light, just because I love doing that, taking chances, taking risk and all that. So I went right there where all that light was. I went over that divider and all that. And I thought, you know what, this time I'm just going to take the easy route, because I think in that video I said there's a very easy way to get through this. And so I wanted to show a little bit of variety. I didn't want to show something I had already done. Again, you're welcome to watch that. I think it's mission 6 is what the headquarters level is when I did that ghost run. You'll see the differences in those runs. So this is the real easy way to do it. Plus I get exploration points going this way. But you see how very easy it is to do without being spotted. Going the other way, it's not hard, but it's a little bit longer. And I always do love these closer than ever. When I get a chance to do this, it's probably one of my very favorite things. I like the animation, I like the challenge, and just going right behind that guard, doesn't even know I'm there, and right into those doors. I think that's one of my favorite things, is to leave them undisturbed and walk through those doors. Really love that. Okay, and here we go. We're in the room that I have been wanting to get back to ever since I did that last ghost run well over 2 years ago. This is the one where you've got the shield heavy come busting in the door with 3 of his buddies. And this was the one time when I did that Ghost Purist run that I did use a distraction on the level. I pulled out my tri-rotor and used it. It distracted the guards because I didn't want to turn out the lights, but that really negates the purpose of a Ghost Purist run. So that has been bugging me ever since, and I even said in that walkthrough I've always, I would like to go back to this room. So here's my chance. Want to leave the environment alone as a purist. How can I get through here without using my whistle or anything?
من حسنم سر
Did that heavy just say something about a ninja? I don't know, maybe I've been playing this game too long. If he did, that was pretty funny though. Let me know what you guys think he said. Here we go. We are in the last stage of the stealth part of it. I won't show you the very last stage has some shooting element, but it doesn't count. You don't get any points or anything like that. This is a different route that I took from my first run. I wanted it to be a little more scenic, since I have to wait on that capture guard over to the right for him to come over and all that. I thought I'd take a different route and go by the fountain and the guards and all that. Plus there are some exploration points to get, so went ahead and did that, waited for them to turn around so I could grab them, and went over here to this tree. And by that time, the guard's ready and he's turning around right now. I can just get right there behind him and do this last part. Now, this last part, I know that back, when I was first doing it, it was quite tricky, but found it to be quite easy once I really figured out a strategy. And just make sure the heavy's looking away from you. Always know where your second guard is. A lot of times he's on the right, sometimes he is on the left. My last playthrough, he was on the left. But always know where this dog is. That is paramount. Also, I use the dog as a distraction, which is pretty big. He picks up my scent. I kind of hang around on the right, and he picks up my scent and kind of goes that way. Also, what that does is it gets the guard's attention to the right. And then I just go around the left, climb up the ledge while they're looking over there. And before you know it, I'm out of the way. And, of course, the dog comes over and barks at you, and you may get a couple flashlights that are close to you. But I've never been seen up here. Now, the really important thing is I've heard that some people have gotten evade points, and I know that you definitely have to wait quite a while. Wait until they're completely settled down and all that. You can see I'm waiting here pretty long until they're in their final, they go back to their regular rotation before I move. So there you go, 8 hostiles undisturbed. Looks like I beat SC Ghost Ninja's Ghost. 56 hostiles undisturbed, got 9 stealth knockouts. That was the 7 guards in the prison cell room, and the 2 revived ones that we re-knocked out. That's where that came from. So there we go, mastered the ghost, and looks like I've got close to 28,000. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to share with all your friends, like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to look for my channel at any time, type in Chris Maker Splinter Cell, and that should bring my channel right up. Has Co-op World Records, the Perfectionist Campaign, Ghost Purist, all kinds of challenges for Conviction and Blacklist, and solo and co-op runs.